Thank you for listening. My name is Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21. I'm a mixed martial arts journalist. I currently contribute to bjpen.com, Low Kick MMA, CageSidePress.com. You could find my work there as well as my YouTube channel at aka Strauss21. And of course, the Did You See That Shit Mixed Martial Arts podcast that you are listening to right now. Here is my latest interview. I hope you enjoy it. I want to welcome Cortney Casey to the show for the very first time, 31 years old, fights out of the MMA Lab, and you will be competing on ESPN 1 February 2nd against Cynthia Calvillo. How's it going?
It's going great. Even though with that little change that we had with the venues, I was already, on schedule for the California card, and then it getting pushed back kind of gave me a little bit more time to relax and enjoy the holidays, and we'll get right back to it come next week.
Very cool. How were the holidays? This is a couple days after Christmas, but did you enjoy your downtime?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed my downtime. Anytime that I can be with my family and be relaxed and not be in fight camp, watching every little thing I eat. So it was definitely, nice to be able to sit and enjoy everyone and some cookies.
Yeah, I hear you. You're coming off of a tough fight against Angela Hill. I was actually covering that event. That was there. That was a tremendous fight. Got back on the winning side of things there. Cynthia Calvillo, she is a very tough fighter in her own right. I mean, you only take super tough fights. Of course, there's not an easy fight in the UFC, but I mean, in particularly, Courtney, I mean, you've really fought the who's who of women, and Calvillo, she's an up-and-comer. What are you expecting from this fight?
I'm expecting a great fight. Like you said, she is an up and comer. She was ranked pretty high, and then she had that mishap in her fight with Carla. So she was out for some time. But yeah, I definitely think she's very well rounded. I know stylistically and matchup wise, wherever the fight goes, it should be really good because she likes to really attack when she gets to the ground, and so do I. So I definitely think it'll be exciting no matter where the fight goes, and the stand-up's good and everything. So I just think that it's a really good matchup, and it'll be, a good fight for everyone, and just kind of see where we all fall.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You mentioned the pushback. Now you're going to be fighting on the ESPN, the very first ESPN card on February 2nd. How does that feel to be a part of a card of that magnitude?
It feels good. I was in, couple first. I did the one in Scotland and then the one in Korea. So I've been a part of a few of those, but to be on ESPN, it's like a kid's dream. And, when you're an athlete and stuff like that, to be able to be on ESPN. So I think it's really cool. And especially being in Phoenix, it's even better.
Yeah. Now the MMA Lab, you've been there for a while, and I've seen you with just at Milwaukee. You were there with Drakkar, showing support and whatnot. But you have really became an integral part of the lab. I mean, what does it mean to be a part of a team like that?
It means everything, to be honest with you. Like my gym back in Hawaii was real super small, and I was the only female fighter and the only one in the UFC. So, it was tough to kind of surround yourself with those people because they hadn't been there. So coming to the MMA Lab and having Benson and, everyone like that who's been around forever, just kind of gives you a little extra motivation and everything like that to see, how far they've come. And then everyone was just so welcoming. So it's just been great. And I kind of fit kind of perfectly in there, and I just kind of squeezed my way in during that Detroit fight, and I kind of stayed ever since.
I think it's a perfect place for you. I mean, you mentioned some of the fighters, and you guys, all of you fighters at the lab have that grit that you can't teach. And yeah, you mentioned it, man. You fit perfectly right in with all those guys. This weekend, of course, there's a huge fight coming up. I'd be remiss if I didn't get your thoughts on it. This whole Jon Jones UFC 232 relocation. What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
It's kind of been a little weird, especially as a fighter, like trying to figure out everything and the ins and out. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and we understand, that they got to sell the fights and, make big fights happen. And I think everyone was kind of looking forward to this. It just sucks that there were so many people involved, and the timing of everything. I can only imagine how many people were going to get tickets to the fights or already purchased tickets, for the family and stuff for the Vegas fight, and then it getting changed. But I mean, all that set aside, I mean, I'm excited for the fight. Like, I'm happy it's happening. It kind of sucks in the way that it's happening, but definitely happy it's happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, at the end of the day, they have a business to run, and I think they made the right decision for their business. But it just stinks that so many fans got the collateral damage. But at the end of the day, like you said, I'm happy that the fight is happening and just tomorrow. So that's something to look forward to. All the fighters made weight this morning, so that's good. Cyborg Nunes, who do you like in that fight? I mean, this is such a pick 'em, right?
I like them both. Honestly, I don't care who wins as long as we have a good fight. You know, Amanda's been in some great fights, and she's won single-handedly a few times, and all of, you know, Cyborg's fights have just been domination. So I think, you know, Nunes is definitely one of the most well-rounded fighters that Cyborg has ever fought, and someone who can definitely, I can't say match her strength in size, but is pretty darn close. You know, Amanda's a little bit smaller, I feel like, but she's a strong girl. So I definitely think it's going to be a really good fight. That's all I'm hoping for, is something that's going to go and give the fans a good show and just kind of represent, you know, the bigger divisions in the UFC.
Yeah, there's no way that I can see that fight being boring right now with those two women in there. I'm definitely looking forward to that fight as well as the main event. Before I let you go, I have to get your thoughts on you're fighting Cynthia Calvillo. She obviously has had some problems making weight. Are you a little bit concerned about that heading into this fight?
I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, I definitely, you know, it's always on the back of your mind, but I'm going to fight no matter what. We'll figure it out if it comes to that. But I know she definitely is making some adjustments and stuff to make sure that doesn't happen again. So I'm just excited for the fight. I think it's a great matchup, and hopefully everything goes smoothly for both of us for this camp, and we get to put on a great show for the fans.
Definitely. Well, I know that you will. You always show up ready to go, and you always put on a phenomenal show. So I want to thank you for your time, and I want to give you a few minutes here to shout out your coaches, sponsors, whatever you'd like. Cortney, the floor is yours.
Combat Corner, Zebra Mats, Joe over at Active Health, Brandon over at PFS, and of course everyone at the MMA Lab. 8 Man Strong has been behind me. So yeah, I mean, if I missed anyone, you know, I love you guys, and you guys can check out anything about me on Instagram at Cast Iron Casey.
Very cool. Well, I do appreciate your time, Cortney. Enjoy the fights this weekend.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.